Good morning, y'all. I don't know why that's saying 47 minutes. I don't know. Oh well, I will edit this shit later. It's blue. Blue Yemoja. I shade to the ancestors. Arisha's. Thank you, Spirit, for the opportunity. So I think it's April 22nd, April 23rd. I really don't know. All I know is that if you hear my dog, they're snoring, it's not a man. Trust. Not to say that I don't have that, but it's not a man, it's not a girl, it's my dog, right? Um, because women do snore like that. So I had some shit on my mind this morning. 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm usually up at that time, and so as I began to think, I thought about our brothers and sisters of color that have African blood running through their veins. That is that would be our black brothers and sisters. That would be our Latino brothers and sisters. And for those who do not know, when the slave trade began, they didn't come to America first. No, no. The Dutch, the Portuguese, Spaniards, they took slaves and went to South America first, the Caribbean islands first. So all those folks, Dominicans, this, that, yeah, they got black blood, African blood running through their veins too. So this is why I include them, because they are by blood brothers and sisters of ours too. So I began to think about the level of racism. I began to think about how we're being attacked, how we're being hunted down. I began to think about what's going on, and furthermore, what can we do? All right. And the first thing that I'm thinking about is George Floyd, Ashe, Breonna Taylor, Philando Castillo, Ahmaud, all these, Trayvon, all these folks. And what came to me, and it's clear as a bell now, is that we can't fight racism as an institution. Mm-mm. Because this level of hatred, this level of bigotry, it supersedes, it goes beyond what we see here in the 3D realm. It goes beyond our physical thinking. It goes beyond this institution, as we call it. No, this shit is happening in the spirit realm. This is spiritual warfare 101. This is beyond the natural. So we need to fight beyond the natural. Now I know most of us grew up in church, and I know you hear we're gonna go ahead and pray and fast and this, that, and the third, and that may work for you. But I want to challenge your thinking. I want to challenge your thinking, because I'll say it all day long now that I've been enlightened, and I'm a church kid. I will always say I'm a church kid. I'm a church kid who's been enlightened, and knowing where what we call the Bible comes from and how it's been tainted, and how there were people who did not look like us and did not have our best interests at heart, who put this thing together and forced it upon our ancestors, making them forego everything that kept them up until the time they were forced into slavery. That program doesn't work for me. because I can't trust the religion of my oppressor. That makes no sense to me. I cannot, I can no longer align wholeheartedly. Don't get me wrong. There are some things that are in the Bible that I do still hold on to and align with. But I do know it's some shit in there that people threw in there and wrote in there for their own agendas to keep people in bondage. And with that being said, I can no longer wholeheartedly align with those teachings, with some of those teachings. So to make a long story short, what I thought about this morning is, what can we do from a spiritual perspective to protect our lives, to protect us? The one thing that the oppressors did when slavery began was to break our chain with the ancestors, break our chain spiritually. They knew if we didn't have that connection anymore, we'd be powerless. And they did it effectively. So what I'm saying is, connect the chain. Weld the chain back together. Go back to that. And understand that this is a spiritual warfare, a spiritual fight that is going on. We're going to have to use our spiritual gifts, which we absolutely have, that were bestowed upon us by God Himself, just because of who we are and the blood that runs through our veins. We have gifts that nobody else has. If we just harness that as a people. So, the first thing that I would like to suggest to all Black and brown people that have an iota of African blood running through their bodies, that know that they are an automatic target for racism, for injustice, for brutality, for any type of injustice based on the color of their skin, our skin. I want to start giving you nuggets to fight that on a spiritual realm and protect yourself. The first thing that I want to share with you as I sip my coffee is this right here. And I'm going to put the link in my um, in the comments. Florida water. All right? Some of you probably know about this. But if you don't, I'm going to tell you. You can go to your local Botanica and get Florida water. You can go on Amazon, order Florida water. But let me tell you about Florida water. Florida water started out being just what it says that it is, a cologne, right? Smells good. Smells wonderful. And it's highly flammable. You better not have an open flame around it. Some bitch is catching on fire. It's alcohol based. And I mean, it is alcohol based. But it started out being a cologne. But the thing of it is back in the day when people were using the cologne Florida water, they started noticing that very different things were happening spiritually. You know, they felt and experienced the power in this Florida water. You can Google right now. Even Beyonce's sister Solange, she was on the red carpet, Met Gala, I believe, and the world went crazy because in her outfit she carried a black purse, and inside her black purse, which was see-through as a mesh see-through purse, you could clearly see, and was very deliberate that she had her Florida water in her bag. I love that picture. In fact, her song Alameda on her latest album, which is my favorite song on that album. Not even in that Florida water. She know what it is. Not even in that Florida water. Yeah. So they know. Those of us who are enlightened in the spirit, we know. What I would suggest is that you get a bottle of this Florida water, and you can put it in a little bitty, what do you call it? A little bitty, like spray bottle. Like go online, also buy you like a bundle of little spray bottles, or you can go to Walmart. I don't know. Take some of this Florida water, pour it into that little bottle, so that you have a little bottle. Which I can get it. I don't know if I can grab it. I probably can't. But anyway, and spray your car, inside, outside. You might want to put a little spritz on yourself. Doesn't take much, just one little shot. It doesn't take much. It doesn't take much. Even if you just want to put a drop in there. If you don't have a spray, just put a drop or two. A little goes a long way. And you don't have to do it every day. Do it every other week. But do it. So that when you're driving, and when you spray that in your car, and when you're driving, make sure that you speak what you need to happen. Thank you, Spirit, for your protection. I'm spraying this Florida water. I'm dropping this Florida water to protect me from the police who are not here to help me. For the police that have bad will or bad intention towards me, to anybody who have bad will or intentions towards me, I ask for your protection. And then you can consider it done. When your children go to school, spray a light mist over them, or put a little dab on their hands, something. We need to start fighting this thing spiritually. So I'm going to start giving nuggets as they come to me on what we can do spiritually to protect ourselves and strengthen ourselves as we go through this metamorphosis, because they don't see what's going on. I clearly see what's going on. It's a changing of the guards. It's a changing of the guards that's going on. And whenever something like that happens, there's always going to be friction. But we got to be protected. Florida water. It's your first step. And I'm going to give you this bonus. Putting a little sea salt inside your car. Shake a little bit in that sea salt. Put it inside your car. And say, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. No bad spirits can cross or encounter me. You got to start operating in the spirit. That is all. Reach out to me at blueyemoja@gmail.com for any questions, spiritual reads, tarot, manifestation work. It's time for us to go ahead and start fighting fire, with the fire that we already know is within us. We have to start realizing who we are. The moment we start realizing who we are and how magical we are and the powers that we have, turn a whole lot of this shit around. Want to give a donation? Cash App, Bluyemoja, BLUYEMOJA, or PayPal, Bluyemoja. At any rate, if nothing else, pray for me. Pray that I grow stronger in spirit, in our ancestors, and our Orishas. Ashe.